Hi, I'm Becky Streepy from Glue and Glitter, and today we're making tacos. Don't you just love tacos? I don't know what it is about putting ingredients into small tortillas that just makes them feel so special, but I'm not gonna argue with science. We're gonna start out with my buffalo cauliflower tacos. These are crispy and spicy. You top them off with a creamy garlic cashew cream sauce. And the best part is they take less than half an hour to make if you do them in the air fryer. But don't worry, you can make them in the oven too if that's your thing. Start by getting that cauliflower cooking. Grab yourself a mug of buffalo sauce and then add a 1/4 cup of melted vegan butter. That's a 1/4 cup after melting. Stir those together and set that aside, and then grab yourself another bowl of panko mixed with salt. And the next thing you're gonna do is dip the cauliflower florets into the buffalo sauce butter mixture and then coat them in the panko. And then you'll either transfer them to your air fryer basket or to a lined baking sheet. It's totally up to you. If you're air frying, you don't even have to worry about like a single layer. I mean, fill up the bottom first, but you don't have to worry if things are touching and overlapping a little bit. If you're going to air fry, cook these at 350 for 14 to 17 minutes and shake gently a few times. When I say gently, I mean shake so gently, especially the first time that you're shaking. You don't want to do like a really vigorous shake because it's going to shake off all of that panko. Give it time to cook a little bit so that everything can adhere to the cauliflower florets before you start moving those florets around a whole bunch. If you're going to bake the cauliflower, just put everything out onto a lined baking sheet and then bake at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. You want to start checking in at the 30-minute mark and just see if it's brown to your liking. It's a pretty flexible recipe, so just kind of use your own judgment. While the cauliflower is cooking, you have plenty of time to make the garlic cashew cream. To make the cashew cream, start by getting your cashews soaking in hot water. I know a lot of cashew cream recipes say that you need raw cashews, but you can actually use roasted cashews if you can't find raw. It'll work totally fine. The hot water soak will soften them up just fine. After the soaking time is up, drain your cashews, discard that soaking water, and then add the soaked cashews to the blender with a 1/2 cup of fresh water, not the soaking water. I can't stress that enough. Then add a couple tablespoons of lemon juice, 3 cloves of garlic, and blend that up until it's smooth. You don't need a high-speed blender to make this cashew cream, but it certainly makes it faster. With a regular blender, just keep going until you have a totally creamy, smooth mixture. You don't want a gritty cashew cream because it's just not the texture that we're going for. After the blending is up, season your cashew cream with salt and pepper to taste. At this point, your cauliflower should be pretty much ready to go, and it's time to put those tacos together. So set out your tortillas and layer on the cauliflower pieces once they're cooked. Add some avocado slices and drizzle on that garlic cashew cream you made. Then sprinkle on some fresh cilantro and eat. Up next, we're making some crispy avocado tacos. This is also a recipe that you can make using the oven or the air fryer, so just do what works best for you. Start by making your corn and bean salad. In a large mixing bowl, combine some drained canned black beans with some fresh or frozen corn kernels. And then add chopped green onion, garlic powder, cumin, coriander, and chipotle chili powder. Squeeze on some fresh lime juice, add a 1/4 cup of your favorite salsa, and stir it all together. Then set this aside to let the flavors meld while you're preparing the avocado fries. These avocado fries use one of my favorite vegan egg replacers, Aquafaba. Do not panic if you've never heard of Aquafaba. I bet you already have it in your pantry. In fact, this recipe allows you to get some Aquafaba from your can of black beans. When you're draining those beans, just stick a bowl under the colander to catch the liquid from the can. That's your Aquafaba. That liquid works great as a binder in a recipe like this. First, dredge your avocado slices in the Aquafaba, and then dredge them into a mixture of panko and salt, and put them into your air fryer or layer them onto a lined baking sheet. You can either air fry these for 10 minutes at 390 or bake them at 400 for 20 minutes. While the avocado bakes, you have plenty of time to make your sriracha mayo, which is truly just grabbing a bowl, putting some vegan mayo in, putting some sriracha sauce in, and mixing it together. Once the avocados are done cooking, layer that corn and bean salad onto your tortillas with a couple of slices of the crispy avocado. Spoon on some of that sriracha mayo and eat. Vegan spinach tacos with fresh pineapple salsa. Y'all, these tacos are super easy and super delicious. The sweet and sour pineapple salsa pairs up so well with the spinach and the black beans and the creamy avocado. I cannot wait for you to try them. All right, y'all, let's make some salsa. Start with 1 cup of chopped pineapple. You can go from a whole pineapple if you like, or you can buy pineapple chunks and then just cut them up smaller, whichever one works for you. Then add a 1/4 cup of minced sweet onion, 2 cloves of minced garlic, a couple of teaspoons of minced jalapeno. Now when it comes to the jalapeno, you can use this to control the heat. If you want a spicier salsa, use more jalapeno and leave those seeds and veins in. If you want a more mild salsa, then discard the seeds, but also use your knife to slice away those light green veins that are inside the peppers. Those actually hold a lot of the heat, so if you discard those, you'll be getting rid of a lot of the spiciness. Then add a 1/4 cup of loosely packed chopped cilantro, and then it's time to grab a lime. For this recipe, we're going to use the juice and the zest from a lime. So I like to do the zesting first because it's much easier to hold onto a whole lime. So zest your lime. You can use a citrus zester like I am in the video, but if you prefer, you can use a vegetable peeler to get the dark green parts of the lime peel off and then mince it. It's just gonna take more time. It's totally up to you. Once you finish zesting your lime, juice that same lime into the bowl with all the other salsa ingredients, mix them up, and then set that aside to chill until the rest of your tacos are ready. All right, now it's time to do the saute. This is also super easy. Add a tablespoon of olive oil to a large frying pan, and then add the garlic and onions that you cut up during the prep. Saute those up, stirring until the onions soften and the garlic starts to brown. Now it's time to add 4 cups of baby spinach. Baby spinach cooks pretty quickly, so I recommend stirring this constantly, especially because you don't want it to totally finish cooking before you add the black beans. So when they're about halfway wilted, add a can of drained black beans, and then cook, stirring constantly again because they cook quickly, but also because you want the black beans to get coated in all that onion and garlic goodness. And just keep cooking, stirring until the spinach finishes wilting. This whole process probably takes like 4 or 5 minutes, so it's a good idea to just stick around at the stove. Once you've finished cooking, you can season that up with salt and pepper to taste. And then it's taco time. Lay your tortillas out and divide the spinach and bean mixture between them. Top that off with the pineapple salsa and add a slice of avocado to each of the tacos. Now let's make some sheet pan butternut squash tacos. I love this recipe because the filling all comes together on one cooking sheet in the oven. The way that you do this is by cutting the butternut squash into small enough pieces that it will cook as quickly as the sliced tomatillo. So preheat your oven to 400 and then grab a big mixing bowl and pile in your diced butternut squash, some chopped baby bella mushrooms, a drained can of black beans, and some yellow onion. Drizzle on some sunflower oil and add chili powder, cumin, salt, oregano, paprika, and cayenne pepper. Mix this all together well so that everything gets coated with all of those good spices, and then pour it on to 1/2 of a lined baking sheet. I guess more like 2/3 of a lined baking sheet because the tomatillo is not going to take up that much space. On the other side of the baking sheet, you're going to add husked and chopped tomatillos and spread those out as well. Then toss that in the oven at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes, pretty much until the squash is cooked through. When that baking time is up, it's time to put together some tacos. Grab your tortillas and then spoon in that butternut squash mixture. Top it with the roasted tomatillos, and then sprinkle on a little bit of shredded cabbage and sliced jalapenos, and serve it with a nice squeeze of fresh lime juice. I hope that this video answered all of your questions about how to make these vegan tacos. If you have any questions that I didn't address in the video, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm always happy to help. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Happy cooking!